Hold up. Before you say I do or even think about filing those divorce papers in 2026, there's something absolutely critical you need to know. The legal landscape of marriage and divorce in America has shifted dramatically, and what worked for couples even 2 years ago might leave you completely blindsided today. Whether you're planning a wedding, navigating a rocky marriage, or considering separation, the rules have changed in ways that could cost you thousands of dollars or protect rights you didn't even know you had. Stay with me because what I'm about to share could be the difference between financial security and complete devastation. Welcome back to the channel, and if you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button because we break down complex legal changes into information you can actually use. Today we're diving deep into the marriage and divorce law changes that are reshaping relationships across America in 2026. Now, I want to be clear right up front. I'm not a lawyer, and nothing in this video constitutes legal advice. What I'm sharing is factual information to help you understand what's happening so you can make informed decisions and know when to seek professional legal counsel. Trust me, after researching these changes, even I was shocked at how much has shifted. So let's get into it. The first major change hitting couples nationwide involves prenuptial agreements, and this one's important whether you think you need a prenup or not. Several states have updated their laws regarding how prenuptial agreements are handled and enforced. The biggest shift is around disclosure requirements and fairness standards. Courts are now taking a much harder look at prenups signed close to wedding dates or without independent legal representation for both parties. What this means practically is that if you rushed through a prenup 2 weeks before your wedding, it might not hold up in court anymore. States are requiring more stringent documentation, proving both parties fully understood what they were signing and had adequate time to review with their own attorneys. But here's where it gets interesting for regular couples who never considered a prenup. Some states are now implementing default marital property frameworks that function almost like invisible prenups. These frameworks automatically determine how certain assets get classified during marriage, unless couples actively opt out through formal agreements. For example, intellectual property created during marriage, cryptocurrency acquired before marriage, and even some types of inheritance are being treated differently than they were just a few years ago. Let's talk about divorce law changes, because this is where things get really complicated. The concept of no-fault divorce has been under intense scrutiny, and while it remains available in all 50 states, some jurisdictions have added new requirements or waiting periods. Several states now require mandatory marriage counseling before a no-fault divorce can proceed, especially when minor children are involved. These aren't just rubber stamp sessions either. Couples must complete a minimum number of sessions with licensed therapists before courts will process the paperwork. Proponents argue this protects marriages worth saving, while critics say it traps people in unhealthy situations and adds financial burden. The timeline for divorce proceedings has also shifted dramatically in multiple states, where you might have been looking at a 6-month minimum separation period before. Some jurisdictions now require up to 18 months of separation before a divorce can be finalized, particularly in contested cases. However, there's a flip side. States are also creating expedited processes for couples who meet specific criteria like having no minor children, no shared property above a certain value threshold, and complete agreement on terms. These fast-track divorces can be completed in as little as 30 to 60 days in some places. Child custody laws have seen perhaps the most significant overhaul, and this affects millions of families. The presumption in many states has shifted strongly toward equal shared parenting time unless there's clear evidence that equal time would harm the child. This represents a major departure from traditional models where one parent typically had primary custody. Courts are now starting from the position that both parents should have roughly equal time unless circumstances dictate otherwise. This changes negotiation dynamics entirely because the parent seeking more custody time now bears the burden of proving why equal time wouldn't work. Technology use in custody arrangements has become a massive legal battle point. States are now including specific provisions about screen time, social media access, and digital privacy in custody orders. Parents can actually get in legal trouble for violating agreed-upon technology rules or for posting about their children on social media without the other parent's consent. Some jurisdictions are implementing default rules that prohibit sharing identifiable images or information about children online without mutual agreement. If you're going through custody negotiations in 2026, expect detailed conversations about iPads, Instagram, and TikTok to be part of your parenting plan. Spousal support calculations have been revolutionized through new formulas and guidelines. Many states have moved away from judicial discretion toward mathematical formulas that calculate support based on income differential, marriage length, and other quantifiable factors. While this creates more predictability, it also means less flexibility for unique situations. The duration of support has generally decreased, with more states implementing firm end dates tied to marriage length rather than indefinite support. There's also growing recognition of career sacrifices by both spouses, meaning stay-at-home fathers are getting more equitable treatment in support calculations than in previous decades. Property division has gotten incredibly complex with new asset types. Cryptocurrency presents enormous challenges because of its volatility and anonymity. Courts are developing new methods for valuing and dividing digital assets, but the rules vary wildly by jurisdiction. Some states treat crypto acquired during marriage as marital property, subject to equal division, while others consider it separate property under certain conditions. The forensic accounting required to trace crypto transactions through multiple wallets and exchanges has spawned an entire industry of specialized investigators. Retirement accounts and pension division rules have been updated to reflect modern working patterns. With more people having multiple retirement accounts from different employers and many working in gig economy roles without traditional pensions, states have had to create new frameworks. There are updated rules about how to value and divide 401ks, IRAs, stock options, and deferred compensation. The timing of when these divisions occur has also changed, with some states requiring immediate division while others allow for delayed division at retirement. Student loan debt has become a major battleground in divorces, with Americans carrying over $1.7 trillion in student loan debt. Courts are wrestling with how to handle this in property division. Some states now consider the benefit received from the education when determining whether student loans should be treated as marital debt. If one spouse supported the other through medical school, for instance, some jurisdictions will assign that debt to the spouse who received the degree, especially if they're earning significantly more as a result. Domestic violence protections have been strengthened significantly, and this is genuinely positive progress. More states have expanded definitions of domestic violence to include financial abuse, digital stalking, and coercive control, not just physical violence. Protective order procedures have been streamlined, making it easier for victims to obtain emergency protection. Mediation and alternative dispute resolution have become mandatory in many jurisdictions before couples can proceed to contested court hearings.
The goal is reducing court backlogs and encouraging cooperative solutions, but it does mean additional time and expense before your day in court. These mediation requirements often include financial mediation, parenting mediation, and property division mediation as separate processes.
So there you have it, the major marriage and divorce law changes reshaping how couples navigate these life transitions in 2026. The common thread through all these changes is that the legal system is trying to adapt to modern relationships, modern assets, and modern family structures. But that adaptation is happening unevenly across different states and creating a lot of complexity. Here's my bottom line advice. First, if you're getting married, have honest conversations about money, property, and expectations before the wedding, and consider consulting with a family law attorney even if you don't think you need a prenup. Second, if you're already married, understand that the rules governing your relationship might be different than when you started, and it's worth doing a periodic check-in about your financial and legal situation. Third, if you're facing divorce, get professional legal help immediately, because trying to navigate these changes on your own could cost you dearly. Remember, laws vary significantly by state, and what I've covered here are general trends. Your specific situation requires consultation with a qualified family law attorney in your jurisdiction. The money you spend on legal advice up front is nothing compared to what you might lose by making uninformed decisions. And look, I know marriage and divorce are deeply personal topics. Whatever situation you're in, I hope you're prioritizing your well-being and safety. These legal changes are just frameworks. Your happiness and security matter most. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video where we'll be breaking down the latest changes in employment law that every worker needs to know about. Until then, stay informed and take care of yourself.